Alright, we are back. When tech issues happens, tech issues happen. This is a light marathon, so I guess this is fun. That's what they can show you. We are playing pre-recorded stuff. So I've seen that the game. I don't know which point the game. I will explain everything again. Pac-Man World title game. They released for the 20th anniversary, 1980. One of my favorite PS1 games, alongside with Crash Bandicoot 2. Just to spend a lot of time playing when I was, and I enjoyed every moment. And also, there's a long story about why my username is related to a ghost, which is basically Blinky from Pac-Man. So this game has more than. Also, this game got a remake. How does it start with? Help me anyways, because it's gonna be a small setup just to save a half of a second. Picture one go. Alright. First things first, let's talk again about game movements, because you can see that Pac-Man movement looks weird, like if he's having a seizure or something. But this is just zigzagging, which is basically mashing up left, up right, right up, right down, and vice versa. Because it's the fastest way to move Pac-Man. Funny enough, analog stick is not so good to run PS1 games, so we're used to run PS1 games with a D-pad. I'm using the fully digital PS1 controller. I will show that on a bit if nobody believes me. And also keep this in mind, walls are only a suggestion, because the way that some stuff on this game works is it's really weird. And I will show you in a bit why. Because you may see that some stuff is solid because we see some textures over them, but the truth behind it is that there's simply nothing there. So they're pretty just transparent. You can go by them, and that's gonna happen. You will see that later on the road. So it's a proof that I'm using a fully digital PS1 controller. Also, this is the same controller I use for the failed CTR run. Also, I have the lights off because right now sun is up, so it's gonna be interesting to see some progress during the run. So right now here, well, this game is divided in 6 sections per in this Ghost Island, and we're gonna be going into the specific order. We're not gonna, unless something really bad happens that requires to take a backup route, I will try to change the other stages, but we're gonna be going into the specific order of completion. So right now this is the second stage of the first section, the pirate section, and also again, balls or suggestion. I suppose that there's an invisible wall there that prevents us from doing that. But if you jump slightly high, you can simply skip that without issues. So right here, the important thing on this second stage is just to get the key that's gonna help us to release one of the Pac-Man friends. I'm gonna explain that thing on the next stage, since I'm gonna be having some time for that. So Pac-Man is basically a ball here, so he will bounce. If you're on a hill, he will roll down and that kind of things. You will see that later on the run. So the first stage, which was a Buccaneer Beach, is just a kind of tutorial stage. There's nothing important there, but it's a mandatory stage that you need to complete anyways. Because there are a lot of hidden signals that tells you how to play the game, talks with you about game mechanics and that kind of things. If you wanna see me exploring that canyon, press 1 on chat. I will do that. And now, right now, here at Crazy Cannonade, this is the stage where we're gonna be saving the first Pac-Man friend. It's gonna be Puka, not Dig Dug. Dig Dug is the name of the game, but the character is called Puka. And it's really interesting why we have a character from another Namco game here. I'm gonna explain that in a bit. This category is called All Levels, which is basically the intended any percent completion of the game, because there's another category, the any percent category, which is a more broken category that I'm learning, and I hope that I can showcase that on a future RGL event. But I decided to learn all levels because this is the only category where you play the boss fights, because in other categories 700% just keep them, as those stages doesn't add nothing to the game completion percentage. I'm gonna wait a bit just to get a life. But I will be using some time in order to get additional lives, mostly for safeness, because if I get a game over screen on the game, that's the end of the run. Unless I have saved the game, but again, I have no memory cards. But I'm not gonna think about bad things, because otherwise they may happen. And also, this is the American version of the game. The optimal version is the Japanese one, as the American release was the first version of the game that they were released to the market. And then when the game was released in both Europe and Japan, the difficulty was reduced with a lot of things, making a lot of stuff easier. One of the biggest bad timing for me. One of the biggest changes that this game got in the European and Japanese version is that when you get out of a stage, your health is gonna be refilled entirely. That's something that doesn't happen in the American version. Okay, this is bad. This is bad. Sweet. Okay, I need to do that to you safe. And also, on the other versions of the game, there's a bridge there, which it makes easier just to reach the section where Puka is. And you may be wondering why we're seeing a Dig Dug character. Well, Namco simply run out of time to include more characters, because in some beta stuff that has been discovered from the game, it was supposed that this anniversary party was gonna be with other Pac-Man characters, but developers simply run out of time to implement that, so they just simply use Pac-Man family. And since they need 6 members of the family, Puka was added. Plus, Puka is also a ball, so I don't think that's gonna be something really hard to add to the game. And now, HMS Windbag's the first boss of the game. This stage is divided into sections. Okay. Not a big problem to complete here, so. Now 6 hits and we are done, but unfortunately the timing with this switches to send back the cannonballs. I don't like a big problem to coordinate properly. Just one hit and there we go. And also, before I forget to do this, kaboom! And now the mine section. I don't know why, but I forgot the. Right now, I'm forgetting all the names of these zones. Probably this is the most boring one, unless for me. And also compared with other sections of the game, while the other parts of the island has 3 stages and a boss stage, this one just has 2 stages. There's a theory that the reason behind that is because the developers simply got out of time to add another stage. Because on the game files you can track game share codes and doing some hackings into the game. You can access to the unfinished stage, which was a third stage for this section, but of the island. But anyways, well, sorry if I mispronounce something. Again, English is not my main language, so for some reason I have been messing up with a lot of words when I try to pronounce them. So if somebody wanna correct me when I say something bad, feel free to do it. I don't feel bad about that. Besides that, I feel pleased about it because I wanna be as best as possible with my English. So first broken thing of the game. You remember 21st night of September and what I have said before? I have died. Believe me, this is common to happen. Not so common, but like 40% of the time that can happen. Trying to get that skip. I will try it again because it's supposed that here we need to do a pretty long section where we need to open a door. Oh, come on. Come on! There we go. Because suppose that we need to open a underwater door in order to access to this section of the stage, and that's something really long and really boring. We're speedrunners, we have no time to do that kind of slow things, so you can simply go out of bounds and that's everything. I mean, it's funny that I have died there because it has been some time since I have died trying to get that skip in a Morton zone. There we go. And well, also, since we just have 2 stages here, that's why these stages are really, really longer. Mining Mines, second stage of this section of the island, and also the stage where we get both Guy and the friend. We're gonna be rescuing Pac-Man here. And so I'm just taking some time in order to add additional stuff to the commentary, so you can also enjoy the amazing soundtrack of the game, and at the same time, I can get a little rest about talking. Because not all the time I will be talking, so just to make the people feel a bit dizzy or annoyed with my voice. And also because sometimes there's nothing interesting to add. But we're gonna be seeing another interesting skip here in the game, because with the skip of the passes of the last stage, it's supposed that we needed to go to the top section of the screen. We need to go to like to get a specific fruit in order to open a door, and then in the door we're gonna be pushing a button that was gonna open an underwater door that will gonna let us access to a section that where I simply a long time since that happened. Memes, I guess. That's why I'm trying to get as much one-ups as possible. It's really funny when you see people playing this game for the first time, whether they are playing it casually on stream or doing a blind race, because they got a really big surprise when they're close to finishing the game. because they notice that they cannot complete it. They cannot access to the last boss, so they're wondering what I need to do in order to open this stage. Because in order to be able to access to the last stage of the game, which is gonna be the boss fight against Pac-Man, I will talk about the game plot later. You need to rescue all 6 Pac-Man friends. On the GBA remake of this game, that's not a requirement. You can reach the last stage without rescuing all Pac-Man friends, and also that's something that happens in the remake also. But in the remake, you have 2 endings: the one where you save all Pac-Man friends, and the other one where you forgot at last to rescue one of them. And okay, we're gonna be seeing here another skip because it's supposed that here I need to go to like a kind of a maze section on the stage, and I need to chase and to activate a button in order to spawn the well I need to get a fruit in order to open a door and then push a button that will make a platform and going back here. But I'm not gonna do that. Instead of that, I'm just gonna keep it here. I jump, I receive damage. Okay, that was not good. Let's try it again. Okay, I'm gonna lose a life on purpose because I have no option, but I'm gonna get the checkpoint. There we go. You can suppose that we need to make that moving platform spawns close to the floor, but we don't need to do that. We just simply can skip it on that way, and that's everything. That's the button we need to activate, but that's not something we require here. And now, Anubis Rex probably the most annoying boss of the game. And also, usually, as a backup route, in case that I will be really low on lives, like in this situation, I will simply skip this stage and then do the space section, which is the next one on the game. But I feel confident that I can complete this without issues. And also for the people who began running the game for the first time, the best thing to do is simply just to complete the space section first before facing Anubis Rex, because the nature of this stage is really annoying. Almost hitless, almost hitless. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. So Anubis Rex, you will see this like an easy boss stage, but some cycle later this is gonna be annoying, and also more easier on the Japanese version. On the Japanese version, the bosses are more easier, they're slower, or they require less hits in order to be defeated. So what do we need to do is that we need to dash over those platforms, and with that Anubis is gonna release its fists, and you can dash against the heart that is behind them. On the first, in the first phase, we have nothing to do. On the second phase, we need to avoid that black tornado. No fue late. The most annoying phase is the last one. This is an annoying one because we also have a laser beam. Also, if I die, I need to start over the same pace. Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad that I haven't got catched by that tornado. For a moment, I thought that I was just gonna do damage and that's everything. Okay, Hades Rex. Annoying boss stage. I'm really glad that things were decent, which is really good. Also, space section, probably my favorite section of the game. And also, one hit and I die, so I need to get a piece of health, which I'm gonna be getting on a bit. I really like the soundtrack of these stages. It's a big of an energetic and also chill for me. Mostly the song that we're gonna be listening on the next stage. Also, you can use the pack dots as something you can shoot, but that's something I need to go. Also, well, there's a one up here. I'm gonna catch it just for safeness. And also another like a little maid that will take us like 30 seconds to do, but instead of that, I'm just gonna do this. So I just can skip that wall. Again, walls are just a suggestion in this game. Well, you have seen a speedrun of this game here before. Well, because I was the I think I have been the only runner of this game that has been featured here at RGL. I may be wrong about that. But I really love this stage soundtrack. Even for today's standards, I feel I consider that it sounds really futuristic. That's something I really like and I really love about this. Also, let's see if I can do this properly. Because it's supposed that here I need to do this section with another moving platforms. But I can simply try to skip that. Oh my. It's a bit tricky, not so complicated, but it's a bit tricky. So I need to press that button, then I need to go back, press this one, and the key is gonna spawn. And I can save Professor Pac, which is right now here on the stage, as we have seen. Yeah, Pac-Man has really good animations for this game. I think this is one of the few PS1 games that runs at 60 FPS. Talking about 3D title, I think this game runs at 60 FPS. I remember exactly. And well, Space Race, far out. Go to Gimme Space, the last stage from this section, before accessing to King Collection, which is basically the reason why I decided to run this category. Yeah, some games look really fluid at 30 FPS that you cannot differentiate them. But there are some games that run at 30 FPS that you can clearly notice that they're running at 30 FPS. But there are ones that looks really fluid even at 30 FPS that you think that they run at 60. Far from that, I can't notice the difference. So if I can play at less than 60 FPS on modern titles, that's more than enough for me. And also, I like to do that because you don't die. It's a good meme for me. And now, my favorite stage of all the game, in Galaxian, and the main reason why I decided to run this game. Because I've mentioned before, this was a game made as an anniversary celebration for Pac-Man. And I hope that at least somebody in the chat can understand which tribute to another Namco game you are seeing here. And also, you can get a lot of points here, so that's why this is a backup stage before facing Anubis Rex. And also, I like how how Namco used the arcade sound effects here in the game. I really like that thing here. And also this is well, when you see the boss of the stage, you may get the reference. I used to play this stage a lot when I was a kid. I really enjoy it. I mean, probably from any video game, this is like my favorite boss fight, my favorite boss stage. Probably the soundtrack may help some people. And also, probably you haven't catched it. This is basically a tribute stage to Galaga Galaxy, another Namco arcade from the 80s. And also, on this boss stage, we simply need to defeat these Galaga enemies. And when they get defeated, we can shoot to one of the King Galaxian eyes. Once we hit all 4 of them, we're done. It's a big pain in my fingers and my arm at this stage. It's supposed that I needed to explode the other eye, not this one. Okay. Oh, this is bad. Focus mode activated. I don't like how this is going. Oh my god. Fight! Received just another hit. I needed to redo all this stage from all the checkpoints this has, which was gonna translate into losing a huge amount of time. I'm really glad. I'm really glad that I survived there. I don't know how. I don't know how. Usually I got really nervous when I received damage in that last section, but dude, I'm really glad. I'm really glad about that. I'm really glad that nothing real life will happen. Now the second section of the island. Now we enter into the fun house, and the only fun thing that has, it's on its name. I don't remember where I can get more health here. Also, nothing interesting here. There's nothing on this stage. So it's time to take a little break from commentary. Also, again, I need to do some stuff in order to make that these stairs fall down, but if I do what I have done here, you can simply ignore that and keep going on through the stage. We're gonna see more broken stuff later in this section. Yeah, not gonna lie, the design of this stages are really cool, except for the last one and the boss stage. We will see that things once we reach those sections. So very last, we're gonna get the key here. Spin DC, which is the front stage, is the annoying one.